Non-Muslims often ask about the marriage of Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, at the age of 9. Can you give some light to this?
I find it amusing that people who wish to defend women's rights make this such a big issue when Aisha herself didn't make it a big issue. She didn't seem to mind. In fact, she was very proud of it till the day she died, that the Prophet was her husband. He was a very loving husband. They had the perfect marriage, and there really were no issues at all. This is actually pretty straightforward. It's a little bit of anthropology, and that is that people have different cultures and different mores. And for the time, even the Prophet Muhammad's worst enemies didn't make an issue about this. This was something that was culturally, it was the norm. How many of you know that Romeo and Juliet, the famous play of Shakespeare, it actually involves a 14, 15-year-old, right? Romeo and Juliet are supposed to be 14, 15 at the time of the play. Now, I don't know, in our times, maybe they go to jail for some type of anti-whatever laws, I don't know. But I mean, the point is that sexuality and the age of puberty, it has changed over time. And the Islamic Sharia, which is the same as in this case with the Jewish laws as well, basically defines adulthood with the onset of puberty. And so therefore, a 9-year-old girl of Arabia 14 centuries ago would be something similar to a 16, 17-year-old of our times. And there are many states in America that allow the marriage of a 16, 17-year-old girl. And the point is that in Islamic Sharia, this is something that is allowed in the past, but in our times, once again, it's not something that needs to be resurrected. In our times, there's a huge movement now to basically standardize the laws and the age of marriage. But these are cultural. I remember I studied at the University of Medina, and it was a very international university. I remember there was a person from one of the tribes in one of the tribes of
Yemen, it's got to be.
No, not Yemen, no. I forgot where, the name of the tribe is counted, I forgot where, but he told me that in his village, every single boy is married by the age of 14. And he goes, if you're not married by 14, society thinks there's a problem. He himself was married at the age of 14, and his wife was 13. Now this is happening this was 2002 or 3 when he told me. And he told me to this day, the entire village, his father, his grandfather, he himself got married at 14, his wife was 13. And he's normal completely, everything is fine. My point being, we have this problem of trying to think that our culture and our era has got to be right, everything else is wrong. Aisha didn't have a problem with what happened. I think it's problematic when we have a problem. I am not saying we should import that. I'm definitely in the camp that says we need to make sure that laws are in place where young girls and young boys are not abused. But suppose we were to be put in charge of this village, wherever it was in Kazakhstan or something. Suppose we were to put in charge there, and they're completely content, and they're used to 14-year-old boys marrying 13-year-old girls, right? Everybody's doing that. Are we going to import our culture and our mores and force it on them when it's been working fine for them for the last 1,000, 2,000 years? I think we have to be a little bit more academic, a little bit more anthropological, and understand that people have different customs, different cultures. And in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, even his worst enemies didn't find any issue with this. It was something that was standard. Aisha was happy, and she lived a very, very happy life, and she had, as we said, the perfect marriage. I think it's a problem when we make it into a problem.
I have heard stories about people were from birth. Parents start making arrangement that I get a son, he has a daughter. From birth they start making that insinuations that as they grow up they will get married. And many, not so long ago, generations or two before us, it was quite normal by age 12, 13 that our grandparents, great-grandparents would have gotten married. So the sense of responsibility and the normalcy of society at that point in time took that into consideration. And it's not a law, by the way. This is not a law that by age 9 your daughter has to get married. No, but it happened and it was accepted then. Today we have all the different comments and negativity of everything of the past that says Islam or Muslims, and that's not the way that we move forward. I mean, Islam is way beyond the Prophet marrying a 9-year-old girl.